What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Stocks to Watch. So, yesterday we had a lot of discussion with respect to mid caps, and we saw auto OEM companies, media companies, media stocks are doing extremely well. So, another day of extraordinary action. Electra was all over the place. I mean, it did fantastically well, and we took that trade. We were into that position. I already informed you, and there were a bunch of other names which we had a discussion about in the previous episode, and all of them did pretty well. And so again, I have another list of stocks which could do extremely well for the remaining end of the week and maybe for the weeks to come because these stocks are probably the strongest stocks in the entire universe. So without further ado, let's get started. Make sure to click on the subscribe button, click on like if you want to see this on your feed more often. So let's get started. So now let's quickly talk about the stocks that we had, shortlisted yesterday, and let's try to see what all happened with respect to these names. So we had a good discussion about Electra. Electra did extremely well. So Electra was up about six six five 6% as far as intraday highs are concerned, and this stock is again ready to explode. So we booked our profits. We booked partial profits in Electra today, and we had like a fantastic play. We were long since the last 4 5 days, and I've been telling this to you guys again and again that Electra is about to explode, and that is what it has been doing since the past 3 days. And I hope you're able to take advantage of that. So Electra was one, Sansera was another. We had a discussion about that. Stock was contracting into a range. Auto OEM, companies were on fire. I mean, I will show you so many auto OEM companies. Even today in my list, there are so many auto OEM companies, and I've been saying this for the last 3 days. So if you follow my channel and my content regularly, you know what I'm talking about. And auto OEMs are still, they have a lot of room, and we've got decent earnings by a lot of companies. Even SJS was up 11% today post earnings. So, and even, Bajaj Auto came out with their numbers. Bajaj Auto had a 30% month on month rise in unit sales as far as two wheelers are concerned. Sansera is one of the biggest suppliers to Bajaj Auto, and that is the reason the stock was doing very well today as well. Apart from that, we also got GDP numbers yesterday, and our GDP numbers were fantastic. So whatever is happening in America, debt ceiling, all of that shit doesn't really impact us. Our economy is very resilient. Mid cap results are, literally talking. Everything is so good right now that momentum stocks and stocks which are in the mid cap space are witnessing a lot of action. FII buying is on a spree. So lots of action happening. Please make sure that whatever stocks I'm telling you, please keep a track of these stocks. These stocks can, literally explode big time. So this was Sansera's move today. Very good move. Stock was up 3.5% today, but at the day's high was about 826. That means about 4.5%, but I'm expecting this to continue. I am into this trade as well. Now, Force Motors, SML, Isuzu, both the stocks we had a discussion yesterday, both from the auto pack. Igarshi, we were into the trade, but we got out at cost to cost. Igarshi, I was expecting a move. Maybe tomorrow this stock moves and gives us a nice little trade. So Igarshi is still going to be on my radar. NIACL also moved decently. TV18 broadcaster. This was star of the day. So I had a discussion with you yesterday. The TV18 is contracting into a nice tight range. We were able to catch that. All of our members caught Network 18 and TV18 both, and both were very similar looking structures. And just look at the move, right? So if you've been a part of the previous episode, if you've watched that, you know what I'm talking about. And we had a discussion about this yesterday and day before as well. So both of them, did really well. Apart from that, East India Hotels, Jikri, NIACL, all of them showing moves today. We already had a discussion. Now, Gabrielle is another stock which is now again ready to move, again an OEM company. So what you're seeing is whatever stocks we had a discussion about, all of them are either from the mid cap space. Like majority of them are from the mid cap space, and majority of them are auto OEM names, and that's what was happening. Nifty was pretty average. Bank Nifty was pretty average. Both of them flattish, and I've been telling this to you so many times that Nifty Bank Nifty, there is no trade. You're just gonna do some time pass here and there. So if you're an option seller, it's a different story. But if you're an option buyer, just stay away from it. You can make much more money in this. So that was about the stocks that we had a discussion about yesterday, and all of them moved pretty much very well. Even Escorts, we had a discussion about Escorts. Escorts came out with aftermarket. I think they came out with tractor sales numbers which were very good. So again, I think there's going to be, lots of action from this list as well. And now let's quickly move to the watch list for tomorrow. And I've got some interesting stocks in for you, right? So let's get started, and I'll just quickly, start and tell you very shortly. So housing finance companies have seen some traction. Muthoot Finance again getting into a tighter range. However, I feel that there could be one or two more days in which the price stays into this range and then it explodes. So just try to time your entry in the best way possible, and I think this is going to do nice little things. Although we have a supply over here, there is supply, but I don't think that's really going to become a problem because it's coming in with a good momentum, high volume action, and I think this is something that you should definitely keep your watch on. Next up is Aarti Industries. Now, I usually don't like to trade stuff which has such a bad left side, meaning that the stock has been, an underperformer. I usually like to trade stocks which are near all-time highs. So this is an exception, but we've seen that specialty chemical stocks have had some action, and this stock was, contracting nicely. So this is not ready yet. So this is one of those stocks which is not ready yet, but could still move. So that is one of them. So whether Aarti Industry is something that you should be keeping your radar on. Now, Honeywell Automation is a higher price stock. It's about 40,000 bucks, and this is also contracting into a nice tight range. I will not be trading this. I will just be observing this. The reason to not trade this is it's illiquid. MNCs like Siemens, Siemens is also part of Honeywell's overall group, and they've not been doing well. So I have a little doubt on this, but technically, probably this could be setting up nicely. So this is like a so kind of a thing. Not really interested in this, but I'm just trying to make you aware. Now, Hathway. So Hathway is also doing nice little things. So this stock is again another underperformer, but the way it is getting set up right now over here is very nicely. So nice tight range over here, and then it's making another tight range over here, right, with decent volume. So I think there could be some action in Hathway. And as I said, Network 18, TV 18 did extremely well today. So again, this is broadly from the same sector. So I we could expect some action in Hathway cables as well. So keep a watch out on that. Now, Karur Vaisa, Bank is another, play which I'll be watching out for. This is another name which is not ready yet, but maybe another 1 or 2 days, and then it can start exploding. Earnings were very good, so post earnings you can see nice little move, and the price is getting into a tight little range. So I think there could be an expansion over here. Yesterday we spoke about DCB Bank. I'll just show you what DCB Bank did. We had a word about DCB Bank as well, so I'll just add that right now and just look at that. Right, so same little structure over here, strong stock, did not really participate. This is the trade that my students and my community members were a part of. And again, so this is, I think this has another 1 or 2 days of action. And again, same thing repeating again. Next up, we've got Map My India, which is CE Info Systems. Now, this stock is, after its earnings, the stock did extremely well, and now it's getting into a tighter range. This is slightly tricky to trade because it is not that liquid, but I think this is another stock that you should keep on your radar. I think this could do really well. Now, Aptus is another stock again from the housing space. This is again not ready yet for me. I think it's going to take a lot of time, but just keep a close eye on this entire range on how it starts developing. I think maybe in 2 to 3 days or maybe next week this could give a good move. I was just scouting through it. I was just scanning it. I just saw it. So I was like, I'll share it with you. Next up is SCI. Now, this has become a circuit stock. I wouldn't really recommend you to trade this. And this is one of those stocks which has like a decent contraction, but the left side is bad. So I'll just ignore it, right? The reason I'm showing this to you is you have to understand that you just don't have to find a range. You have to kind of dig deeper to understand the earnings, the catalysts. You have to understand the overall structure and then kind of, shortlist. So SCI, again, not something that I will be interested to trade. I just wanted to show this to you that you have to reject such names. And that's why I was showing it to you. Now, NIACL, I've already had a discussion about NIACL and Jikri for the last 2 days, that these insurance stocks, PSU insurance companies can do extremely well, high volume action, and I think next 1 or 2 days could be really crucial and they can explode. Today, both days we saw decent action, but they didn't close really well. So you can see last 4 5 days, the stock has been doing well, reaches 123, 124 areas, but then fails to close. So that's the only concern. TCNS brands is something that I feel could give some action tomorrow. So again, this is the stock fell big because Aditya Birla was taking controlling stake, but now the stock is ready, getting into a tighter range, into an area of demand, and I think this could be starting to explode, and maybe this gap could be filled. So TCNS Brands is something that you should be watching out for. Another OEM stock, another auto parts OEM name, SJS Enterprises. This stock was up 11% on the back of good results, and then as I said, that auto sales numbers were out, and auto OEM companies do really well when auto sales numbers are really good. Even Tata Motors did really well. I think Hero also did reasonably well, and there were other auto OEM companies like Sansera that also did really well. So SGS is very interesting even now because this is the IPO base that it has created, and what I will be looking for is obviously entry right now is not suitable, but any kind of a base that gets created over here, I think that's going to be really, really interesting to watch. So overall, I think SJS is coming out of its multi-year to 1.5 year base, and I think that's going to be very, very exciting to watch on what it does. Shanti Gears, another OEM name again near all-time highs, creating a nice little range over here. So this is what I'm watching. I am just not liking the fact that this range is a little wide. I was expecting it to be a little narrower. So I'll just keep this on watch. Again, something which is not ready yet, but still could move. So we'll be watching it, very cautiously, and then let's see if we get a move in this one. Minda Corp again setting up very, very beautifully, and this is another stock that I'll keep a watch on again from the auto OEM space. Now I know you're tired of me saying auto OEM, auto OEM, auto OEM, but the truth of the matter is the best structures are into auto OEM space, and they've been doing reasonably well, like exceedingly well. So keep a watch out on this as well. Now Saxoft is an IT company. This I not really am a big fan of. The reason is it's a little too extended, but for an intraday basis or maybe for a swing BTST basis, you can have a look at this. It's not my personal favorite, but I was just scanning through it. Earnings were good, momentum was nice, so maybe there could be a continuation tomorrow. So again, not one of my best lists, but not one of my best stocks, but again, could be on radar. Titagarh Wagons, Jupiter Wagons posted outstanding numbers. Titagarh Wagon itself posted very good numbers, and the railway infra, you all know, railway theme is kind of overdone right now. So just look at this. The stock has been doing extremely well. Now the stock is into a tighter range, getting into a range. It's going to be interesting to see what it does tomorrow. So I think it's going to take another day tomorrow, and then day after is where it's going to explode if it works out the exact way that I'm thinking. So that is definitely interesting. Now there is one such stock. Very less thinly traded stock, Banaras Hotels. So this is also doing the same thing. The stock has been on a rampant run, has already been up three times, 3x 4x in the last 2 years, and now it is again doing the same thing. It needs 1 or 2 days of price action to mature, and then I think it could start exploding again. So keep this on your watch list as well. I've been telling this to you multiple times. Hotel stocks, highest margins, like all-time high margins, all-time high, rack rates, all-time high average, room sales and operating margins. So I think it's just too good, hotel industry as a whole. Welspun Enterprises, we had a discussion that this is in the making again today. That's what's happened today with the stock. I think this base is going to be really interesting to watch. And again, this is a stock which I will probably look for an intraday trade more than a swing. And if this base matures nicely, this could also do well. Now, Jikri is another stock, again, a PSU insurance company. I've had a discussion with you multiple times. This is very nice, very good, and it could be setting up for these highs around 203 areas. So I'll definitely be watching out. We are still into this trade, and I believe that this could have a good action tomorrow or day after. And last one is Gabrielle. I think I've had a discussion about this as well. Another auto OEM. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what OEM is, OEM is original equipment manufacturer. So they basically do contract manufacturing for different brands across the world, which make auto, cars, trucks, bikes, two-wheelers, etc. Right. So that is Gabrielle, and I think this also is, setting up really, really nicely. And DCB Bank, of course, I've already had a word about that particular stock. So that's more or less my list for tomorrow. If I talk about Nifty and Bank Nifty, again, I'm not really interested to trade this because I don't really see a trade. Nifty was even weak today on the back of I think ICICI Bank and HDFC, sorry, Kotak being weaker, and I think that could still continue. But whatever Nifty is doing, no one really cares because just look at the action that's happening in the mid cap space. I think that's phenomenal. So That's it from my side. These are the stocks that I'm going to be watching out for. I hope you are getting a lot of benefit, a lot of learning from the things that I'm sharing. And if you appreciate that, drop in a comment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That'll motivate me to make such more videos. And stay tuned for the next video tomorrow. Until then, all the best. Take care. I'll see you next time.